5 to 8. 18-year-old Oliver McGowan was in training to become a Paralympic athlete, but a series of epileptic seizures meant he was admitted to hospital, where he died in October 2016. His parents have been trying to find out what happened. They submitted a Freedom of Information request into the first review of his death, which found that it had been rewritten by the clinical group relevant in the area. Well, today NHS England is going to announce another review into his death. We've approached them and the Bristol, North Somerset and South Gloucestershire CCG, but they didn't want to give us an interview. We can now talk to, though, Paula McGowan, the mother of Oliver. Good morning.
Good morning.
And before we start talking about the review itself, just give us a sense of what kind of Oliver was.
Oh, Oliver was the type of person where, you were lucky to meet. There was something about him that, people were drawn to him. They warmed to him. He had a can-do attitude, and he simply amazed everybody with his achievements. He surpassed every expectation of him. He was a school prefect. He was chair of the college council. He brought so much fun and happiness to our lives. And he, as a person, always saw the best in everything and everybody, everybody else. And he just simply, he didn't fail to light up the room with the sound of his laughter. He was an absolute joy to have around. And just such a massive hole in our lives has been taken.
And this was despite the fact of the difficulties that he had to overcome, the autism and the epilepsy, which was what meant that he ended up in hospital.
Absolutely. So Oliver's epilepsy was what we call simple partial focal seizures. So he remained conscious throughout, it did cause him to be anxious and scared, and quite rightly so. But as I've just mentioned, Oliver strove to be the best he could always be. With this can-do attitude. And, his seizures really did affect his confidence, which it did impact on the autism as well.
And you've been trying to find out more about the circumstances of his death, and that's why you had the Freedom of Information request into the first review, which was announced. What did you discover?
It was absolutely appalling. In actual fact, we weren't searching for answers because we were there the whole time. We knew exactly what had happened, and when we received the first review, we knew it was absolutely wrong. That essential box about the death being potentially avoidable was left blank, and we knew it didn't ring true. And this is exactly why we asked for a Freedom of Information. And we were just floored by the content of that. We had 5 versions of the original final version, with the first one having the box ticked saying that Oliver's death was avoidable. And then within the system, within the Bristol CCG, amongst themselves arguing, saying to get that box unticked, we mustn't be seen to be in disaccord with the coronial system, the coroner. Dehumanizing Oliver and ourselves. It was horrific, absolutely horrific.
So what are your thoughts now on the fact that the NHS England has said there's going to be another review?
Well, we embrace that. It's a huge positive. We should never have had to fight as hard as we have. We should never have had to ask, a solicitor to become involved. Karen Hayes from Field Fisher. We should never have had to go through the trauma we've had to get to this point. However, it is a huge positive. It's a leap forward, and it's exactly what Oliver deserves. And Oliver and every other person.
Well, exactly. That's what I wanted to say. So will it affect other families as well? Because NHS England says they're going to feed the lessons into the national system for reviewing the deaths of people with learning disabilities.
What Oliver's review, his leader review, has exposed is the failings of the leader process. It's not conducted.
Oh, I'm very sorry. We seem to have lost the line to Paula McGowan there. But I think we got an understanding of her views and what she was talking about. Finally, the LDR, that's the Learning Disability Mortality Review Programme. And as I said, the NHS say that they hope that there'll be lessons learnt from that. So our thanks to her for coming on the programme and talking to us.